So in this video, we're going to talk about the USA Patriot Act. So the Patriot Act was actually passed after the terrorist attacks of September 11th. Some of the provisions are that federal law enforcement intelligence officials will have greater authority to monitor communications. The Secretary of Treasury has greater powers to regulate banks, preventing them from being used for money laundering. Greater border controls, making it more difficult for terrorists to enter the United States. And it defines new crimes and penalties for terrorist activities. Critics, though, say the act undetermines the Fourth Amendment rights. So it allows police to use pen registers on the internet to track email addresses and URLs. It allows for roving surveillance to be performed for the purposes of intelligence, and the government doesn't have to prove that the person under investigation actually uses the device to be tapped. Searches and seizures are being done without warrants, and warrants are issued without need for showing probable cause. Another provision are known as national security letters. With the national security letter, the FBI can actually collect internet, business, medical, educational, library, and church or synagogue records without showing any probable cause. The FBI then first issues a national security letter stating the records are related to an ongoing investigation. The problem is they don't need an approval from a judge. Gag orders will then prevent recipients from disclosing receipt of the letter. And through 2006, the FBI has actually issued over 192,000 national security letters. Some of the successes of the Patriot Act are the following. There were charges made against 361 individuals. Guilty pleas or convictions for 191 of those. The shoe bomber Richard Reed was charged through the Patriot Act. John Walker Lynn, who fought with the Taliban, was also charged through the Patriot Act. More than 500 people linked to the September 11 terrorist acts have been removed from the United States, and terrorist cells have been broken up in Buffalo, Seattle, Tampa, and Portland. A potential failure is the case of Brandon Mayfield. So on March 11th, 2004, terrorist bombings in Madrid killed 191 people and wounded now more than 2,000 others. The FBI made Brandon Mayfield a suspect. They claimed that a partial fingerprint matched. They conducted electronic surveillance. They entered his home without receiving a search warrant. They got copies and documents and computer hard drives, and they arrested him as a material witness and detained him for 2 weeks. Spanish authorities matched fingerprint with an Algerian, and then a judge ordered Mayfield released. So the FBI actually apologized for the fingerprint misidentification. The government issued a formal apology and then ended up paying Mayfield $2 million. Civil rights groups stated that Mayfield was targeted for his religious beliefs. Another example of issues with the Patriot Act would be Edward Snowden. He actually leaked documents to the Guardian newspaper, as I'm sure we all know. Guardian revealed Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court had ordered Verizon to provide the NSA with all of its telephone metadata for 3 months during 2013. The Guardian critique was that the NSA's mission now focuses increasingly on domestic communications. In May 2015, federal court ruled that NSA's program to collect customer telephone calls in bulk was illegal. And in June 2015, Congress passed a reform calling the USA Freedom Act instead of the Patriot Act, which required agencies to obtain a court order before accessing metadata. So even though the Patriot Act was put into place, the subsequent USA Freedom Act was added to potentially correct some of the potential misuses in the USA Patriot Act.